After a decade of combating the discriminatory quota system, the International Institute of Boston and its allies finally tasted victory in 1965 when the Immigration and Nationality Act, also known as the Hart-Celler Act, was signed into law. The act abandoned the old discriminatory country quotas, raised the number of immigrants admitted per year, and created preferences for family reunification, skilled workers, and refugees. The predominantly European immigrant population in Boston gradually gave way to a more global one, welcoming newcomers from Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean. The first new wave of immigrants following the trend of the Cold War years were refugees from Czechoslovakia. The Soviet Union and its allies invaded Czechoslovakia seeking to quell the Prague Spring by massacring protesters. The tragedy led to tens of thousands of Czechoslovakians fleeing the country. In Boston, IIB led Operation Kindness, the effort to welcome and resettle refugees from the conflict, with support from the Boston Committee, American Fund for Czechoslovak Refugees, which was founded by an IIB board member and housed in its offices. While the fund provided transportation support, IIB focused on working with its networks to find the new arrivals housing and employment. As more newcomers arrived, IIB's staff grew from 10 in 1965 to 70 a decade later. To better welcome and serve this more diverse group of new arrivals, IIB introduced an array of globally oriented programs. Gaspar Jacko, a Hungarian immigrant who was IIB's first executive director born outside the US, launched the Whole World Celebration in 1970. The international fair featured multicultural arts and crafts, food, and performances. European ethnic groups were joined by those from India, Japan, China, Indonesia, Egypt, and Kenya. Also during this period, IIB founded Ambassadors for Friendship, an exchange program for high school students that sent 750 high school students and teachers abroad, while bringing foreign students to the US. The Ambassadors program later expanded across the country, sending more than 9,000 American students abroad in 1973. At the same time, IIB was supportive of Americans from First Nations, who were increasingly migrating to Boston from Canada, New York, and the Western US. IIB hosted several meetings of the Boston Indian Council as they sought to establish their own cultural center and provide scholarships for youth. By 1973, as Boston's population continued to become more diverse, IIB dramatically expanded its language instruction offerings. Spanish language classes were added to help local medical personnel, teachers, and social workers to serve an increasing population from Puerto Rico and Latin America. Additional foreign language classes were offered in French, Italian, and Portuguese. While IINE continued to host English for speakers of other languages, ESOL classes, at its offices on Commonwealth Avenue, new partnerships were also formed to bring ESOL classes on-site at local companies to help immigrant employees succeed in the workplace. In 1970, our most enduring tradition began when we first awarded the Golden Door Award to honor the contributions of notable U.S. citizens who had immigrated to the country. Taking its name from a line in Emma Lazarus's poem on the Statue of Liberty, I lift my lamp beside the golden door. The first award was given to Chinese architect I.M. Pei, followed by Boston Pops conductor Arthur Fiedler, Austrian, restaurateur Anthony Athanas, Albanian, and Star Market founder Stephen Muger, Armenian. With past honorees coming from 25 different countries, the Golden Door Award continues today to honor and build support for the immigrants that strengthen and enrich our nation. Today, the International Institute is grateful to be able to welcome and support refugees and immigrants from more than 75 countries throughout the world who work in industries that desperately need their skills and services.